I have a theory as to why hard magic systems are so popular that I'd like your opinion on. Like, the underlying psychological reasons behind why. It's a little conclusion I reached based on two different books, Worlds of Wonder and The Anatomy of Genres. We'll start with the former first. In Worlds of Wonder, it states that fantasy is not the abandonment of logic, it's the reinvention of it. Fantasy doesn't give freedom from explaining. Fantasy is more than stuff that you just make up. It requires the creation of an alternative structure of logic. So, it helps to understand an underlying structure that unifies your ideas. If you can agree with me regarding that, then you might reach the same conclusion as me when you learn this about the big appeal of the fantasy genre. According to The Anatomy of Genres, the big appeal of the fantasy genre goes beyond our ability to project onto being someone else. The appeal of fantasy is about being someone more. Fantasy isn't just about escapism. It's transformation, growth, mastery. If I'm right, the fantasy here is navigating these worlds and conquering all of its challenges. It needs to be logical so you have clear rules everybody's playing by, and, by extension, the protagonist can act as an avatar of sorts for their reader, who likewise would consider how they'd interact with and master this world. If my theory is correct, we can extrapolate a great deal about why certain things tend to work in fantasy fiction. 1. This explains why men tend to be drawn more to this stuff than women. Now, this isn't to say that women don't enjoy or engage with hard magic systems. I'm generalizing, but the attraction to it correlates with the stereotypical male interest in systematic and rule-based environments. 2. It explains why tropes like underdog heroes or more bland main characters can show up here more often than not, as the genre goods are still being satisfied first and foremost. 3. It hits well on why stuff like lit RPG, a genre I'm overall not fond of outside of a few examples, is so popular, as it makes the reinvented logic far more transparent for people to navigate. I imagine quite a bit more could be extrapolated from this, but I'll stop there since, as said, I want to turn things to you. What do you think about this theory? Do you consider it true in your own experiences? Or am I missing something? Let's get a chat going in the comments and see where things lead.